There comes a time when the noise of the world fades, and all that's left is you. Your strength, your pain, your dreams, and your quiet courage. Maybe you've been waiting for a reason, for a sign, for the perfect moment to begin again. But here it is, your breath, your existence, your resilience. You don't need permission, you don't need permission, you don't need perfection. You just need to decide. This is your reminder that you are not broken beyond repair, not forgotten, and not too late. This is your moment. This is your sign. There comes a moment in life when everything slows down. The noise, the distractions, the constant rush, they all fade, and suddenly you are left with yourself. In that silence, the questions rise louder than the chaos ever did. Who am I? What do I want? Why do I keep waiting? That stillness is not emptiness. It is the birthplace of strength. It is where pain reveals its lessons and potential begins to breathe. Maybe you have been waiting for a sign, a reason, some confirmation that it's finally time. But the truth is, life is not waiting. Every breath you take is proof that the moment has already arrived. You don't need approval to rise. You don't need the world's applause to begin again. You need only the courage to whisper to yourself, I deserve more than standing still. This is not about waiting until you feel perfect. It's about beginning even while trembling, even while unsure. Because sometimes the most powerful beginnings rise from the quietest places, inside the heart of someone who finally decides, enough waiting. It's time to live. We are taught to believe that we must be fully healed, perfectly confident, and entirely fearless before we begin again. That we must fix every broken piece before stepping forward. But readiness is not a condition you check off. It is a decision. Healing is not a finish line. It's a companion that walks with you as you rise. The truth is, waiting for the perfect moment will only keep you standing in the same place. Life does not pause until you are comfortable. The storms won't stop. The fear won't disappear, and still, you are capable of moving. Beginning again doesn't mean erasing pain. It means carrying it differently, with courage instead of shame. You don't need to be fearless. You only need to choose despite fear. The strength to start does not come from perfection. It comes from deciding, in the middle of the mess, that you are worthy of progress. And right here, right now, that decision belongs to you. Some of the greatest transformations don't happen under clear skies. They happen in the middle of storms, in messy rooms, broken hearts, tear-stained nights. Courage is not waiting for calm. It is rising while the winds still rage. It is standing when your knees shake, breathing when your chest feels heavy, and moving when doubt screams louder than hope. The world tells you to wait until the path is smooth, but progress is born in motion, not in perfection. Every step, no matter how shaky, is a declaration that fear does not own you. The storms in your life may not pass quickly, but they are not proof of weakness. They are proof that you are alive, enduring, growing. And sometimes, the most powerful victories are not the ones where fear vanishes, but the ones where fear walks beside you and you rise anyway. There will be days when you feel invisible, days when your name isn't spoken in praise, when your efforts go unnoticed, when your reflection feels unfamiliar. And in those moments, you may begin to question if you matter at all. But hear this, your worth is not measured by applause, achievements, or recognition. You matter simply because you exist. The way you show up despite the heaviness, the way you extend kindness even when your own heart aches, the way you survive quietly, those are not small things. They are proof that your presence shifts the energy of this world. You may not always see the impact, but your existence has already touched lives in ways you'll never fully know. Your worth is not fragile, not conditional, and not replaceable. It is written into your breath, into your being. You matter. And that truth does not need validation from anyone else. We spend so much time waiting for life to get easier, waiting for fear to disappear, waiting for someone to rescue us, to choose us, to tell us it's going to be okay. But the sign you've been searching for is already here. It's in the fact that you woke up today, still breathing, still capable of choosing. This is your sign to stop shrinking, to stop apologizing for your softness. your dreams, your voice. This is your sign to stop living as if you are forgettable. You are not. Your presence carries weight. Your courage matters. And the very fact that you are alive is proof that it is not too late for you. Do not wait for the world to grant you permission. Do not wait for certainty. Begin anyway. The time is not someday, it is now. We often imagine that transformation must be grand, loud, and immediate. But real change is usually quiet, subtle, and built step by step. A single breath, a single choice, a single action. That's how momentum begins. You don't have to leap across the entire distance of your dreams. You only need to take the next step. Small steps matter because they gather strength. One moment of courage creates space for another. One choice to rise builds the foundation for tomorrow's victories. Progress is rarely about giant breakthroughs. It's about steady motion. Even when you feel unsteady inside, don't underestimate the power of what looks small. Waking up with determination, speaking your truth softly, daring to hope again, these are the beginnings of transformation. When you look back, you'll see it was never about doing everything at once. It was about refusing to stay still and trusting that every step, no matter how small, is proof that you are moving forward. Perfection whispers lies to keep you still. It tells you that you are not ready until everything is flawless, that your scars disqualify you, that your dreams must wait until fear is gone. But perfection does not exist. It is only a mirage, a moving target that keeps you running in circles. Life will never be without mess, without risk, without uncertainty. And that's not a flaw. It's what makes your journey real. The most powerful breakthroughs happen in imperfect moments when you decide to move despite not having all the answers. Waiting for perfection is another way of hiding from life. You don't need flawless conditions. You don't need absolute certainty. You only need to choose courage over comfort. Perfection is not the key to freedom. Progress is. And progress is always born in the middle of imperfection. When you finally give yourself permission to begin as you are, your wounds may feel like heavy chains, but they are not proof of weakness. They are evidence of survival. Every scar tells a story of endurance. Every fracture whispers of battles you have already overcome. Do not hide them in shame. Do not believe the lie that you must be spotless to rise. Scars are not endings, they are beginnings. They remind you that pain did not break you, it shaped you. They are proof that you are still here, breathing, choosing alive. Sometimes the most beautiful strength is the kind that grows in cracked places. And when you rise with your scars visible, you give others permission to rise with theirs. You don't have to pretend to be unbroken to matter. You don't have to erase your history to deserve a future. Your scars are not something to escape from. They are part of the light you carry into the world. There is a quiet whisper inside of you, a voice that has always known who you are. It is softer than fear, gentler than doubt, yet stronger than both. The world may drown it out with noise, but it never disappears. That voice tells you when it's time to let go, when it's time to rise, when it's time to believe again. You don't need everyone else to validate your worth. You need only to listen to yourself. The whisper says, you are more than this pause. You deserve to live fully. It will never shout, but it will always be true. And when you finally pause to hear it, you'll realize the answers you've been chasing were always inside you. The courage you've been searching for has always been yours. And the permission you've been waiting for is already written into your existence. Trust that inner voice. It is your compass. It's easy to overlook the miracle of survival, the quiet victory of simply being here. After everything you've faced, after every heartbreak, after every invisible battle, you are still standing. That is not small, that is extraordinary. Survival itself is strength. Every day you wake up is a chance life has given you again, proof that it is not over for you. Too often we minimize this truth, thinking it doesn't count unless it's dramatic, unless it's celebrated. But you being here is proof that you matter, proof that you still have chapters to write. Don't dismiss it. Don't belittle it. Your resilience is sacred. It is not just about enduring. It's about refusing to let life's weight erase you. The fact that you are here, breathing, enduring, choosing again, is all the evidence you need. You are strong, you are worthy, and you are still becoming. So much of life is wasted waiting for someone else to give us permission. Permission to dream bigger. Permission to change direction. Permission to start again. But you don't need approval from the world to move forward. You only need your own decision. The truth is, no one else carries the authority to define your path. No one else breathes for you. So why wait for them to validate your choices? The only permission slip you will ever need has already been written into your heartbeat. It's not selfish to rise for yourself. It's survival. It's not arrogant to want more. It's human. The longer you wait for others to say yes, the more of your life slips away. Stop waiting. Stop shrinking. Stop asking the world if it's okay to take up space. Your very existence has already answered that question. You belong, you matter, you are allowed. Every person carries a silent weight. The battles no one sees, the wounds no one notices, the fears hidden behind smiles. You may think you're the only one holding such heaviness, but the truth is everyone carries something. And while that weight may bend you, it does not break you. What you carry has shaped your endurance, deepened your compassion, and built a strength that others may never understand. It's okay if some days feel harder than others. It's okay if your healing feels slow. What matters is that you're still here, still breathing, still trying. Don't let the weight convince you that you are weak. The fact that you carry it at all is proof of your resilience. Even in silence, even in struggle, you are growing. We often imagine that progress should be smooth, linear, and graceful. But real growth is messy. It stumbles, it falls. It circles back and tries again. That doesn't make it less powerful, it makes it real. Every backward step is not failure, it's part of the path. Progress is not measured by how perfect the journey looks, but by the fact that you are still on it. Do not shame yourself for being imperfect. Celebrate the fact that you are still moving. Some days your progress will feel invisible, but it is there, hidden in the choices no one sees. The choice to get up again, to try again, to hope again. These are the victories that build your life. The beauty of progress is not in its neatness, but in its persistence. There may be moments when you believe that your absence wouldn't matter, that the world would move on without you unchanged. But that is not true. You are not replaceable. Your presence carries a weight that no one else can replicate. The way you laugh, the way you care, the way you see the world, these are not random. They are pieces of the universe that exist only through you. Your existence shifts the lives around you, even in ways you may never witness. A kind word spoken, a moment of empathy given, a smile offered in silence, these ripples travel farther than you realize. Never believe the lie that your life is insignificant. The fact that you are here means the world is different. You may not always see it, but you are a vital part of this story. Courage is not loud, and it rarely feels easy. Most of the time, courage feels like trembling hands and a racing heart. It feels like uncertainty wrapped in hope. Comfort whispers for you to stay safe, to stay still, to avoid risk. But comfort is a cage. It keeps you where you are. Courage, on the other hand, is the key. Every time you choose courage, you expand your life. You open doors you didn't know existed. You discover strength you didn't know you had. Courage doesn't erase fear. It walks with it. The difference is that courage refuses to let fear decide your future. You don't have to be fearless to move forward. You only need to decide that staying where you are is no longer an option. And when you choose courage, even in small ways, your life begins to change. We are often told to hide our weakness, to cover our pain, to act as if we are always strong. But true strength is not in pretending. It is in being real. Vulnerability is not weakness. It is courage in its purest form. It takes strength to admit you are hurting. It takes bravery to let others see the cracks in your armor. And yet, those cracks are where the light enters. When you allow yourself to be honest, messy, imperfect human, you open the door for connection and healing. People are not moved by perfection. They are moved by authenticity. And the moment you dare to stand in your truth, scars and all, you remind others that they too are not alone. Vulnerability is not the opposite of strength. It is the foundation of it. You may feel like you're running out of time, like you've wasted too many years, like you're too late to begin again. But that is not true. Time is not against you. It is with you every single day you wake up. Life is not measured by how fast you achieve something, but by the courage you bring to each moment. Some of the most beautiful stories begin later than expected. Some of the strongest blooms grow after long winters. You are not behind. You are not too late. Every second you breathe is proof that you have another chance, another chapter to write. Stop measuring your life against timelines that were never meant for you. You are exactly where you need to be to begin again. Resilience is not loud. It does not always roar. Sometimes resilience looks like simply getting out of bed when your heart feels heavy. Sometimes it's answering the phone, smiling when you don't feel like it, or whispering to yourself, "Try again tomorrow." These moments may seem small, but they are monumental. Resilience is the act of continuing even when life feels unbearable. It is the refusal to let pain erase you. Do not underestimate the quiet power of your endurance. Every time you choose to continue, you are proving your strength. Every time you rise after falling, you are declaring, "I am not finished yet." That is resilience, the choice to stand again and again, no matter how heavy the fall. We often look for anchors outside ourselves, for people, for promises, for signs that tell us it's going to be okay. But the most powerful anchor you will ever find is within you. It's in your ability to breathe through chaos, to ground yourself in truth, to remind yourself that storms do not last forever. Others may support you, but no one can carry your life for you. At some point, you must decide to be your own anchor, to trust that even when everything feels uncertain, you can hold steady, to believe that you are stronger than you realize. The world may shake, the waves may rise, but your anchor is already within. Your courage, your resilience, your will to rise. There comes a point where standing still is no longer an option. Something inside of you awakens. A restless fire, a whisper that grows louder until you cannot ignore it. It is the part of you that knows you were made for more than surviving. You were made to live, to create, to love, to rise. That awakening may come quietly, in the middle of tears, or suddenly in a moment of clarity. But when it comes, it changes everything. You no longer settle for silence where your voice is needed. You no longer shrink where you are meant to shine. That awakening is your invitation to begin again, not someday, not when you feel ready, but now. The truth is simple: life is not waiting, and neither should you. The unknown often feels terrifying. We cling to certainty because it feels safe, even if that safety keeps us stuck. But the unknown is not your enemy. It is the canvas where your future is painted. Every risk, every new beginning, every bold step requires walking into what you cannot yet see. Fear will whisper, "What if you fail?" But hope whispers louder, "What if you fly?" The truth is, every life-changing chapter begins with uncertainty. The unknown may hold challenges, but it also holds possibility. New love, new strength, new dreams. You don't need to control everything before you begin. You only need to trust that whatever comes, you will face it with the courage you already carry. It's easy to look at where you are and feel frustrated, to focus on what hasn't happened yet, to compare your journey with others. But pause for a moment. Look at how far you've come. Look at the storms you've walked through, the battles you fought in silence, the nights you thought you wouldn't survive but did. That is not small, that is extraordinary. Your journey may not look like anyone else's, but it is yours, and it deserves to be honored. Every step, every stumble, every rise has shaped you. Stop minimizing your story. Stop overlooking your strength. You are not behind. You are becoming. And your path, with all its twists and turns, is still leading you exactly where you are meant to be. We often postpone our lives, waiting for the perfect moment when everything feels right. But life is not in the waiting. It is happening now. This breath, this day, this moment is where living begins. Don't let fear of the future or regret of the past steal the beauty of now. Living fully does not require grand gestures. It requires presence. It's in noticing the sunlight through the window, in choosing kindness, in daring to hope. It's in allowing yourself to laugh, to dream, to feel deeply. The more you anchor yourself in the present, the more you realize that this moment is enough. You don't have to wait to start living. You are already alive. And that is reason enough to begin. Beginning again doesn't always mean charging forward with boldness. Sometimes it means rising gently, step by step, with shaky hands and a soft heart. And that is still courage. Courage is not defined by the absence of fear. It is defined by the choice to move despite it. You don't need to transform your entire life overnight. You don't need to have all the answers. You only need to decide that you are worth the effort of beginning. Whether you rise loudly or quietly, boldly or gently, what matters is that you rise. And every time you do, you prove to yourself that your story is not finished. It is still unfolding. So here you are, after everything you've carried, after all the battles, the fears, the waiting, you are still here. And this is your sign. You are not too late. You are not too broken. You are not invisible. You are alive, breathing, capable of beginning again right now. Life will never wait for the perfect moment. But the perfect moment is here. Because you are here. Your existence is proof that you matter, that your story is sacred, that your journey is not over. This is your chance to stop shrinking, to stop waiting, to stop doubting. This is your moment to rise, gently or boldly, but fully. And when you do, the world shifts because of your presence. If this message touched your heart, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with others who may need this reminder. Like this video, and join us for more inspiring messages that remind you of your strength, your worth, and your power to begin again.